Now, David Robinson is a true friend of the live bait industry. He operates right here in Wisconsin. Many of his friends, however, are in Arkansas, and many of his minnows head north from Arkansas to his customers all over the upper Midwest. But he's not just about minnows. The Robinson family name represents many parts of the fishing industry.
Dave grew up on this plot of land in southern Wisconsin. It housed everything from a family-owned Phillips 66 gas station to a bait business to homes for his parents and grandparents. As the bait business grew, Grandpa's need to expand led to trips up north for more bait and a legendary fib to Grandma Robinson.
Other bait shop owners were coming to my grandpa for bait, and so my grandpa had to start going up to northern Wisconsin where he could get a larger supply of bait. And my grandpa was famous. He had a passion for fishing. He loved to fish. And this is back in the 50s. Then he had my grandmother convinced that it was a 3-day trip to go to northern Wisconsin, and he would get a day and a half of fishing and bring bait back.
Eventually, the business grew so large that outside producers were needed to meet demand. And that's where the Arkansas baitfish farmers come into this story.
My dad wound up putting a truck together that was big enough to go to Arkansas, and we made some connections down there, and we never looked back. We just kept, we created some wonderful relationships with people in Arkansas and have done a lot of business down there. And they just got a good product, the good soil conditions, water conditions, and produce a lot of fish, and we're the market, so it's worked out well for both of us.
So David, what would you say is the biggest difference between Arkansas and Wisconsin?
Well, I would say it's colder in Wisconsin.
Yes, it is. I say let's go inside.
Yeah.
The farm has holding areas for wax worms. In fact, each of these containers holds 7,000. The farm also has what some people call red spikes, which is a fancy way of saying maggots. And there are also night crawlers.
All right, everybody, watch this.
So these are night crawlers.
How many are in that little box?
There's about 500 in there.
500.
The business has flexed like those night crawlers. One brother runs the distribution of all things tackle and lures, and another brother handles a hatchery, which grows trout and other fish to feed the area ponds and parks.
So here's another big difference between Arkansas ponds and Wisconsin ponds. This is one pond right here. Looks about 20 feet by 15 maybe. But don't be surprised that there are actually 3,000 pounds of fish in this small pond right here.
Yep. Here's another difference between Arkansas ponds and Wisconsin ponds.
There's another big difference, yeah. We don't have much of the white stuff around our ponds. You know, something else though, also, you know, we talked about birds and how hard they are on the crops in Arkansas. When you've got a pond that's this small, you can put basically a cage with a screen over it, and that prevents the birds from coming in and eating your fish.
Yeah, we'll hold a large volume, as you said, in these small ponds, and so it's easy pickings for the birds.
While David Robinson lives here up north, his strong ties to Arkansas are yet another chapter in the book about the minnow farms that lead the nation and make the bait that make fishing great. We hope you enjoyed today's show. We learned a lot about a new technique to catch fish in the winter. And while it may be a while before we can catch fish like that in Arkansas, it sure is fun to enjoy the new method of walking out on a frozen pond, drilling a hole in the ice, and pulling a fish through it. And we took advantage of this setting and got an opportunity to hear Lee play a section of Vivaldi's Winter here in the wintertime of Wisconsin. An outdoors experience awaits you. Go out and find it, and we will see you somewhere in Arkansas's great outdoors. Thank you for watching from this field trip in Wisconsin.